Good evening, cowboys, cowgirls, and outlaws. Welcome to the Slick Sixguns Network. I'm your host, Slick Sixguns, and I'm here to provide education, tips, and community for those interested in the Western shooting sports. If you're interested in stuff like that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notifications bell so you don't miss anything. Now let's pack our wagons and see what's being discovered out west. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Cowboys, cowgirls, and outlaws. Slick Sixguns here. I'm just tuning in today and giving you guys a nice little live stream, which I haven't done in a while. I'm here to actually update you guys on a few things and also to tell you a little bit of something that I have for you in this video. Now, when we get started, I just want to go ahead and let you know that if you're interested in what I'm doing, you can always contribute to my Patreon account, which is in the link in this description here, or you can also help me on PayPal if you feel the need to. I would really appreciate it. That's up to you. But for the most important thing, I want to let you know I'm back. For those of you that don't know, I was out on tour with the U.S. Army for a little while, but I am back here in the States looking to get started once again, doing my content for you guys so that you guys can enjoy and see what I have to offer. So if you like this kind of content, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. It's good to be back, and just wanted to let you know that as we go about this conversation, you guys can go ahead and ask me questions in the comments section. At some point I will probably go through the comments and we'll go ahead and answer those questions. I'll answer just about anything you got for me as long as it's obviously appropriate. And if it isn't, then I'm just going to go ahead and not answer. That's kind of the way we go. Anyway, I will also probably give a shout out to a few of my viewers just to say, hey, how are you? And to ask you how you're doing. It's been a long time. I just want to let you know it's been about almost 18 months since I probably made my last post here on Facebook. As you guys know, just recently I posted on my YouTube channel about the history of the Bowie knife. If you haven't seen that video, please go over there and take a look. It's kind of interesting, some stuff that's going on right now with, stuff that's just being out there on YouTube, which I'm sure I'll be able to let you know that's going on. But before we get started with that, I want to go ahead and let you guys know that if those of you who are veterans of this channel know that I like to do coffee with y'all, and wherever you are, maybe morning, noon, or night, and I just want to let you know it's always a great time to grab whatever you're drinking. I just want to let you know that I am drinking my own homemade coffee here, and I'm going to go ahead and take a sip right now just for you guys. It feels nice to just have some coffee with some friends. So anyway, other than that, I'm sure you guys are looking forward to the content that I'm going to be putting out here in a second. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm glad to be back. Everything is going really well right now. I think the channel has kind of gone down just a little bit in views, which is fine. I kind of predicted that. Obviously, when you don't post for 18 months, people have a tendency to forget about you. But if you haven't forgotten about me, and obviously I can see that you're here, it's good to know that people are still looking forward to me coming back, and I'm glad that I could be your content creator that you look forward to seeing to post. So thank you so much for your support, and without viewers like you, I wouldn't even have a channel. So that's awesome. But let's get to what we're really supposed to be talking about today. Well, I wanted to let you guys know that the whole reason for this video is that I obviously purchased some new content that you guys will probably be seeing in the future, and I just told myself that when I got back from deployment, I was going to go ahead and give myself a nice little gift, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this light on for you so you can actually see me a little bit better. That's a lot better. Please let me know if the brightness is way too bright or too dim. Please let me know so that I can obviously give you guys good view. I forgot that I hadn't turned on the actual light. But I decided to get myself a nice little gift, as any good cowboy does, and as any good person does when they do something great in their lives. They like to reward themselves every now and then. So I decided to. I went down to my local gun store, and I found some pretty unique finds. Some of those you're going to see on the channel here, but you're only going to see one today. I've got probably about 4 or 5 new ones. Don't tell anybody. You know, it's quite a bit, but a little excessive, I guess. But it's never too excessive when it comes to what you like. Am I right? Give me a like if you know that. So anyway, I went down to the shop here and I saw a few very original firearms. And I thought that this was going to be a chance for me to purchase them because I was never going to see anything like that again. You may argue with me and say that, well, you'll always run into something if you're really looking for it. But to be honest with you, with the way things are nowadays and the fact that I've got a family, I really don't go out that much. You know, it's kind of hard for me to really find what I like, of course, unless I'm surfing Gunbroker, okay? You know, which is also a good site for me too. I like Gunbroker. I know some people don't, and I'm sure there's better sites out there, but I like the variety that they have with it, and it's something I've been kind of accustomed to. Getting back to my story anyway, so I saw these original firearms and I thought to myself, you know what, I really gotta have these because I'm never gonna run into them again. And one of them happened to be a Winchester 1892. So, without any further ado, let me show you what I got. This is my Winchester 1892. Yes, it is an original Winchester, by the way. I just want to let you guys know that. It is, the serial number is 58,300. So, just want to let you guys know that, to me, that's a pretty decent serial number there. I don't know. I have to look up the history on the 1892 a little bit more because I'm usually more about the 66s, the 73s, and the 60s. But I just decided to get an 1892 to kind of have a Winchester collection going. And as you can see, this thing has a really nice patina on it. Definitely, the action works great on it. Very strong action right there. And it's actually chambered in 3220 or 32 WCF. That's not something that you really go out and buy that often, although I've seen some people sell it. It is one of those awesome features that you know, that ammo that you just really don't see a whole lot of anyway. I've only seen 1 or 2 boxes being sold at this gun store that I go to. Now let me know if you're able to find 3220 just about anywhere. Maybe you are, but obviously because I live in a smaller town and I really don't see it that often, I usually just see a box or 2. I don't really plan on shooting anything other than black powder through this thing. So the modern ammunition I'm probably not going to go with. Obviously going to go with lead and just making sure that I have the right powder load in it. But yeah, it obviously looks like someone at some point decided to modify the magazine tube, put a shorter one on there. I'm not really a fan of the shorter magazine tubes, but as long as it's able to hold 10, I'm not going to complain. It's when they start getting down to where they only hold 5 or less, well, I should say less than 10. That's usually what I have an issue with. But you can tell that they actually modified it here because there's a screw hole that's where the original magazine tube used to be. So, other than that, it is a really good little rifle here. I haven't shot it yet, just to let you know, so you are seeing it without it having been fired. The wood on it has some chips and dings in it, but to my knowledge it looks like it's all original. It doesn't look like it's been redone. The metal has a nice patina on it. It's pretty good looking. I haven't checked how long the barrel is, so please, you can ask, but I'm not going to know the answer unless I pull out my tape measure. So, just letting you know. But yeah, it's a nice little Winchester 1892 here. So, I can't wait to get out and shoot it. Basically, my plan when I go out shooting with cowboy action specifically is I am looking to kind of shoot down through history. And what I mean by that is essentially I transitioned to many different rifles and many different pistols. I use more than just one set. Some people only go with one set, but I joined SAS for many different reasons, much like anyone else does. Some people join for the competition, other people for the history, some people join for a little bit of both. I'm one of those that does it for a little bit of both, and the fact that I can own more than one set of guns is just great. You know, and given the fact that these are also really desirable is kind of a bonus. Having to, you know, getting the chance to buy originals is great. You know, I shoot all the guns I own. That's just my preference. Whatever you want to do with your guns is your business. Doesn't matter. So what I want to do anyway is I typically start from, you know, when repeaters started to be made. Obviously these are all SAS legal. So, you know, I get the Spencers, and then I kind of work my way up to the 1860, and the next time I'll shoot a 66, then a 73, and then obviously you've got another one which is an 1892, which will be in that sequence. But there's a few other rifles in there in between if you have them. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. So that's where you go with that. Please let me know in the comment section what you guys are drinking, by the way. I don't know what you're drinking, but it must be good. So yeah, nice little 1892 here. Little great rifle. Obviously it's something that someone used. It's not something that just sat in the corner somewhere where they decided that they were just going to hold on to it for posterity. I think someone actually used this and had a purpose for it. I don't know what kind of history it really has. I don't even know who the previous owner was. The gun store couldn't even tell me that anyway. So, but it's very solid action. I've never shot 32-20 before. Please let me know if you have. I know that it's a nice little, it's a longer cartridge, obviously a smaller round than a 44-40, because I've only shot the 44-40 when it comes to the original cartridges. And 45 Colt as well. So as far as rifle cartridges are concerned anyway, even though 45 Colt is not a rifle cartridge, at least back in the day. But yeah, this is a great little rifle. I can't wait to shoot it. It's got a nice little sight picture on it. I got buckhorn rear sights here, and it's got a nice little post here with a beaded front sight here. So very good looking little rifle. It's very well balanced. I like the crescent butt plate on it. So I'll show you once again, just kind of going from tip to butt, as Flannel Daddy likes to call it, Grand Thumb if you ever watch him. So here's the muzzle. It's got some wear on it, I'll tell you that. And then obviously, as I was showing you earlier, the magazine tube is shortened. Going on down, you got the fore-end cap here. You got the rear sight, the buckhorn. Going down to the receiver, you got the loading gate, the lever, the hammer. And going down to the tang, nothing special about the tang here other than the wood's got a nice little wear, and you got the crescent butt plate. So, yep, it seems like a pretty solid gun. As I said, haven't shot it yet, so we'll see how it goes. Definitely when I do that, I'm sure I'm going to catch it on camera so that I can share it all with you. But I am here to take any of your questions if you want to ask them. I'm also here to drink coffee with you, so I'll probably have some ramblings on. You know, I may show you the rifle as we go on again, but you know, everything went pretty well. I was gone for 18 months. I'm glad to be back. Thank you for letting me come back. Thank you for letting me come back. Thank you for welcoming me back. Dakota, good to see you. Hope you're staying out safe there, my friend. Pulling people over and, you know, doing what you can to protect the community. So, you know, take care of those guys out there who are doing bad things. So, you know, the lawman and the lawman in the background there. So, doing what I could not do. So, thank you for all you do. Your job is just as important as mine here. So, And by mine here, I mean what I did while I was deployed. So obviously not YouTube, that I do this more for entertainment and more just to express myself, just like anyone else. So thank you for what you do, and I'm glad to have you back. Thank you. Keep watching. If you have any questions, please ask. So, yeah, something that was kind of interesting that happened with the whole YouTube thing. Right as soon as I finished filming that episode on history of the Bowie knife, I posted it. Luckily, people were able to see it. Thank you. I'm glad that we were. YouTube has had some interesting things happen in the last 18 months. They've gotten a little bit more stricter on their content, and my content by no means has been extreme when it comes to violence or harmful content for anybody, but you know, as soon as I decided to release that show, you know, it's like a 7-minute video, instantly it got flagged by YouTube, and it's actually under review right now because I requested a live person review of it because they automatically flagged it and gave it a warning. And the way YouTube works, they currently have their, you know, your first time that they flag you, it's a warning, and then you get 3 more subsequent tries, and what they do is they issue you a strike, and if you get the 3rd and final strike, they cancel your channel. But you can always get you can always get in-person reviews. Problem is with the in-person reviews, it takes a while. So I released that video on the 21st, and you know, it's been several days, obviously, since it has yet to get an answer on the review, so I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on the review to be complete, and once that's done, I will be able to not have that worry anymore of having a warning. So I'm just glad that I was able to release the video. However, it still got flagged. I think it's ridiculous. Please let me know if you think it's ridiculous, because I've never once had a video flagged at all. And I'm telling you, some of these bigger content creators that I've seen have had far more harmful or dangerous content, which is what mine was flagged as. I couldn't believe that. You know, especially on a history video. But, you know, times have changed. People see things a little bit differently. But once again, it's also YouTube, the algorithm. It's also their, what do you call it? I mean, it's not even people that are flagging you, it's their system itself. So if it catches, I believe it's, you know, if it catches so many images of whatever, you know, that might seem harmful, pokey, or things that blow up, it might flag it automatically, which I'm sure that's what it does. So, but once you get a real person to look at it, then things are fine. At least I'm hoping it is. Hopefully it doesn't take 2 weeks for them to review it, because if they review it and then all of a sudden they decide it's harmful and outrageously dangerous, then they're going to take it down. And to be honest with you, that was about a 20-hour work. For those of you who don't know, I put about 20 hours to 30 hours per video when I put it out. Some of you might think that's crazy, but to be honest with you, if you love what you do, then it's really no big deal. So, but that would be 20 to 30 hours of work down the drain for me. But like I said, you got a bunch of other YouTubers, I don't know how they don't get flagged for things like that, and maybe it's just because they do get flagged and somehow they're able to produce content that wouldn't be flagged the next week. Some of them do it daily. But yeah, there's people out there that post things far more harmful or dangerous than I do. So, you know, please take that with a grain of salt. You know I certainly am. Obviously at YouTube, you can't email them, you can't call them. All you can do is just go ahead and appeal through their system. And that's just the way it works. It's the way, that's the world we live in, unfortunately. So, you know, that's just the way they do it. And, you know, we're going to go ahead and keep moving on, and just gonna let you guys know that this channel isn't gonna die. It's gonna keep going. Either YouTube takes me down, or you know, I no longer am able to make videos for whatever reason. So I'm gonna now continue to make content for you guys. By the way, I just wanted to let you guys know that when I got back, I said I was gonna make videos more often, and I am. That's true. Until I kind of get a few things under control, under my belt, I'm probably looking at once every other week. Not every week as my channel has been prior to me leaving. So I was at doing one per week roughly, and now I'm doing one every other week. But to caveat that, or to add on to that, I'm also doing a live stream, which is what I'm doing right now. So you guys are getting double the content, essentially, without having YouTube as my only source of content. So I just hope that you guys are happy with that. I know that I am. It's something that I started before I left when it came to the whole coffee thing. I know I was doing one per day, but then that was becoming kind of excessive. You know, so I'm kind of working on that. But you know, it just depends on me whether I can actually put out content that often. I know that back before I left, I was able to put out one per week without much of an issue. But then again, now I've gotten better camera equipment. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm using a nice little light ring here, which I think is great. Helps me film better. Helps me to position a little bit better so that I have better lighting as well. So that's awesome. And I also got more cameras, which you guys are going to be seeing in the next video, which is going to be coming out not this week, but next week. I'm not going to give away exactly what it is, but it's going to be awesome because I tested out a new camera system. I think y'all are going to like it. So I got a GoPro. I also got a aim cam video system. So you'll actually be seeing first-person shooting videos from my perspective. So I think that's pretty awesome. You know, I've always wanted to do that. I know on some of my videos I've tried to do that, but usually that's me with a huge camera sitting on a tripod, putting the gun in front of it, and trying to look down the sights at the same time through the viewfinder. That's kind of difficult to do, obviously, but can be done if that's the way you want to do it. You know, obviously just make sure that you have a, you know, safe backdrop and everything, and you know what you're shooting at. So, but I ended up using my aim cam video, which is basically glasses that are, you know, they got a nice little camera in there, and they got a nice little camera in there, and what they do is essentially, as you're looking down the sights, they, you know, they get the same, you know, check your sight picture and acquisition. So that's kind of what it does. And you know, they're very strong looking. They're kind of big and bulky, but you know, they're shooting glasses, so they're shooter grade. So if you had any dangerous pieces of, you know, lead or metal fly back and hit you in the face or whatever, it's not going to damage your eyes. You know that for sure. So that's kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and stop real quick and just got a few new viewers on here. So I'm just going to once again show the rifle because I know that's what they're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and show you once again. This is my 1892. It is a actual Winchester. It is not a Moroku made Winchester either. So for those of you who don't know, Winchester has a lot of their guns now manufactured in Japan, and then they get imported back to the United States. But Winchester has done that for a number of years. I couldn't tell you exactly when that started, but you know, for certain guns, I know, like if you go back and see my 1873 video, it tells you exactly when they started doing that, remaking that model. So yes, they are coming out with new models of originals, but this is an actual original that is made back at the turn of the century, and it is in 32 WCF or 3220, so it's great. Nice caliber. Haven't shot it, but I've always wanted one in that caliber, and you know, so I'll let you know how that goes. But you know, it's, tell me how often you're able to find some of these 1892s when they're originals, and depending on what shop you go to, you're not going to find them all the time in just your own random gun store. Sometimes they'll get put in there by a pawn shop or something like that. So it was just kind of a rare find for me. I've always been looking for an 1892 original, but a lot of them that they were selling were extremely overpriced for what I thought I was getting. Even though, you know, it's an original, you're paying for the name, you're paying for the fact of how old it is. You know, we're talking upwards of $5 grand for some, and I just wasn't able to afford that, quite frankly, and I didn't want that. So that's why when I found this 1892 and saw the price tag, I went, it's mine, I'm taking it. And of course, as always with anything, you always got a budget, and you got to make sure that you got the you know, got to make sure that you got the right amount of funds for what you're looking for. So it's it is what it is. But yeah, so I got some new camera equipment, so you guys will be seeing some new shots there. I got some new clothes, so you guys will be seeing me in different attire. I got some new firearms, so I'll also be showcasing that stuff. You know, I'll let you know how that goes. I'm laughing at some comments, so I'll probably be reading them out in a minute. Just to let you guys know. If you guys have any questions of me, please ask in the comments section. I'll answer anything, whether it's on the topic of this 1892 that I have. If I can answer it, and if not, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, because I know there's a lot of people out there that probably would correct me. You know, you can ask me any question that you want, and I'll try and answer it. Whether it's a personal question, can be any question about the video, or whatever. You know, just let me know how you're doing as well. I'd like to know. You are my audience. I kind of want to know how you guys are doing today. It is a very nice day, by the way, where I'm at. It's nice and sunny outside. We had a interesting storm come through last night. I know that some people aren't so fortunate than others, but we were fortunate. We were told we were going to be getting some high winds and stuff, and so a lot of rain, and we didn't. Or at least, to my knowledge, we didn't, because most of it was at night. So, it is what it is. So, you know, for you guys out there tuning in, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back with the family. It's great. I'm glad to be back making videos. This is one of my passions. I have many passions, believe me, but this is one of my huge passions. So, I'm glad to actually be showcasing to you guys, and I'm glad you guys actually want to tune in. It's great. So yeah, you know, also if you guys had any questions on the Bowie knife video, feel free to ask me. I'll try to answer them as well. So, you know, that's great, and you know, life is good, as I always say. I like my cup here. Got a nice little Texas Strong coffee cup. As I said, I'm drinking my home brew. So let me know also where you're tuning in at. I'd like to know where all my viewers are coming from. I know that a few of these viewers are actually family members of mine, and I know they're in my state, so it's good to hear from you. I know a few other viewers who are from my state as well are also tuning in. Thank you very much for tuning in and taking the time out of your very busy day just to hear me ramble. So I like to be a pretty talkative person when it comes to these videos, so, you know, I'm just going to keep going, as long as you don't mind. Alright, let's go ahead and get to a few of the questions here, see if I can answer some of them, or, you know, talk about some of the comments I got. So if you'll just give me a second here. Dakota Tidwell, thank you for your service overseas and good to see you home. Been too long, things going good here. We are currently deploying 2 weeks at a time, about once a month to the southern border. But we won't get into that. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are pretty darn busy. I know you were telling me that you guys were doing that. Don't know if that's something that's been a constant reoccurrence. Or if this is just a new uptick for you. Once again, thank you for holding the line. Thank you for doing what you do so I don't have to go to the border myself. But that's good. I'm glad that you guys are busy because, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But it is unfortunate that you get pulled away from your family. Know how that is. I know that you've got a new family, by the way, so congratulations. If you haven't heard from me about that, on the new baby, it's awesome. I guess hopefully you're enjoying the sleepless nights. No pun intended there. But hope your wife's doing great. Let me know how she's doing in the comment section as well. I don't know if she's tuning in. If she is, great. If not, okay too. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for your comment. Look forward to seeing you more often, bro. Take it easy. What else? Oh, J.W. Elkins, most of the time after the review, it will either be cleared or listed as limited or no ads. My Alan Thurber Pepperbox vid is that way. There's no telling how it will go. It's kind of a crapshoot. I suggest betting on black. Well, thank you. I appreciate the vote of confidence and that it is going to go through. Honestly, I really don't care if it's limited or no ads. Just because, ideally all YouTubers want to become part of the AdSense program. I think that's great. I think there's other ways also to get paid and subsidized for your content. So I don't worry about that as much. I just more worry about the fact that it's actually going to get posted and be allowed to stay on. And that was more my major concern. I'm not really part of the category right now that takes ad revenue, so it doesn't really concern that. But I can see where you're coming from on that one. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. I have some GoPro gear, head mount, and chest mount somewhere if you want to try them out. I already have a head mount, thanks. I already have a chest mount as well. It's a GoPro 8. So, but I'll show you when you come by. Let me know if there's anything else out there that you recommend. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, if you got a 3220 in black powder, I'll borrow it. If you got that, let me know. Okay? And it's an investment purchase. Yes. I actually had this conversation with someone a while ago. But then you also have to look at what is an investment, what is a liability and an asset. You could look at it as you could look at it as an investment. I think to an extent, and this is just where I stand. I know that other people are going to stand on different areas. Depends to me on how often you really shoot it, if it becomes an investment. Usually the older guns, I know people really don't shoot that much, especially when there's no ammunition for certain kinds. And I'm talking about the ones where they don't really make ammunition for. To me, in my view, in my opinion, that is a true investment because it will appreciate over time. You're not really putting so much into it with the shooting and stuff. But yeah, I can see how it is an investment, but to me, it's only an investment if it's an original. Unless you hold on to the new ones for years and years and years until you're about to kick the bucket. But then it's also how much are you willing to spend and trick out your gun too. That's just my opinion. But yeah, you know, it could be seen as an investment purchase. And yeah, I did look at it as a little bit of an investment purchase as well, being an original. Hence the reason why I'm actually trying to go for more originals if I can find them. And also just the historical portion of it too. But I don't mind replicas at all. I think replicas are great. Obviously, you know that because I shoot a replica of a 1872 open top in fast draw. So, you know, I don't use my Colt single action Army, which I do have a Colt single action Army 3rd generation that could be used in fast draw. I just choose not to use it. I actually want to use it more for cowboy action instead. So that's kind of where I stand on that. Obviously, as you guys can see through some of my videos and through what I do, I don't mind at all having a reproduction. So I think the repros, the replicas are great to have. Obviously, they end up being half the price or less for the originals, especially if the originals are in really, really, really good condition, or even in okay condition but still working and still able to be shootable. But I think when I counted up, I counted up my original collection, I think I had about 6 or 7 originals out of all the ones that I got. But the majority of them are repros. You know, it's what I could afford at the time. I'm a little bit older. I got a little bit more money saved. I'm a little smarter with budgeting now. So I'm able to purchase more of the originals. But, you know, there are some guns out there. I think, what was it? I was out there at Collector's Firearms down in Houston. You know, and they had a original 1860 Henry for $20,000. Ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure it's worth the money, but you know, and granted, people treat it like an art piece, so I think that's great. Which to me they are art pieces in a way. So $20,000 for it, someone can afford that. I'm not one of them, at least not now, but I could see purchasing something like that if I had the money to do so. Maybe one day, someday, when I get to that point, if I get there, maybe I'll think about doing that. But yeah, so that's just my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to the comments here in a second. But yeah, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your questions. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'll also, once again, show you guys more of my 1892. I know that people who are watching this video have been sticking around for a little bit. If you haven't been sticking around, haven't been watching, that's okay. You know, I'm going to show you periodically my 1892, and I'm going to drink coffee, so I'll probably be doing this for a little bit. I hope I'm not interrupting you throughout your day, and obviously if you have the time to watch me, then, you know, I'm at least a big part of your day. So obviously let me know when you go. I'd like to say goodbye, give you a chance, give everyone a chance to say goodbye personally when they're signing off, so let me know when you're doing that too. Dakota, thank you, and yes, I was passed along the message. Yes, we will have to bring her for a visit and meet your new little one. She's doing great. She's back doing what she does. We currently are blessed. Baby sleeps 12 hours a night. Well, good. Glad to hear that's happening. So, I'm glad everyone's doing well. You need to come by, say hi to us at some point, and I know that we probably ought to do the same. I got 2 little ones myself, so I'm a family man as well, for those of you that don't know. You know, so yeah, come on down, friend. Join us for something whenever you have time. You know, I know it's hard to travel nowadays with a little one, especially when it comes to car travel. Some of them, you know, kind of hit or miss whether they're going to like it or not. So, you know, and you can only deal with a screaming child so long. So, it depends on what she's willing to put up with, man. If, you know, right now, my little girl, she really doesn't put up with much when it comes to travel. She can barely stand an hour in the car. So, we're kind of stuck within an hour radius. So, but hope the new house is working out and everything. And, we'll make some plans to come see you guys, or you guys do that. Let us know in the future. Just give us a heads up. I'm going to go ahead and show this rifle real quick to see if I got any viewers out there who still want to see it. So, some of you guys may know this, but this is the little brother to the 1886, which is a rifle caliber. So, a rifle caliber rifle. This one is pistol caliber. So, I know that they came in 44-40, 32-20, 25-20 as well. If they came in other calibers, please let me know. I'd like to know that as well. But what I always thought was interesting about the 1892 is the loading gate here. It just looks so rigid compared to the other loading gates on the other weapons that I've seen. Like usually the 1873 looks a little bit more flush and fluid, and this just looks a little bit more rugged. I don't know how better to describe it. The fit and finish on this rifle is absolutely great. Obviously that kind of comes with 100 plus years of age. So I'd have to actually look at the letter, or maybe talk to Winchester, see exactly when this was made. Can tell you exactly how old it is, but as far as I know at this point, from my personal inspection of this rifle, it doesn't look like a whole lot is missing, if anything, other than the fact that the magazine tube was modified at some point in its life. Maybe the front sight might have been, but I don't think so. Just a good overall looking rifle. So it looks like a working man's rifle, somebody who actually used it. I think it's great. Probably not really going to do anything to it. I'm not going to put any special sights on it. I'm probably going to keep it as is. I'm going to hang on to this rifle. Okay, Dakota signing off. Talk to you later. Stay safe out there, and get back in touch with me, man, when you have time. So, so I'm gonna, at some point, gonna shoot this thing, and it's gonna be quite an awesome experience. Let me know how you guys, what you guys think of 1892s in the comments section. As far as the look of the rifle, it looks really good. It's not my favorite look for the lever actions of the Winchesters. Honestly, I'd have to say, if I'm pressed to ask what my favorite look is, I'm going to have to say it's definitely probably the 1860. I just think it looks really sleek. It looks really, it just looks really nice. Very fancy. My 1860 Henry from Henry Repeating Arms is very deep blued, very pretty, very classy looking. The wood's just great. The brass, very shiny. It's just very cool. These definitely are very ergonomic to me as well. Just the lever itself is very intuitive, so it's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and drink some more coffee. Please let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments section below. Let me know. So, and once again, let me know if you're leaving. I know that everybody's got a busy day. So I'd like to say goodbye to you personally. If you have any questions of me personally, where I've been, what I've been doing, what I am going to be doing in the future when it comes to content, let me know. I've kind of explained that a little bit earlier in the video. So it'll be, quite an awesome experience. Also, let me know what you're drinking, where you're watching from. I'd like to hear that as well. I always like to know where my viewers are coming from. Don't forget, if you guys aren't members of the Slick Sixguns network, make sure that you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. Thank you all for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to look back on the replay. Description section is a link to our Patreon account if you feel like supporting us. Don't forget to buy me a coffee as well. Outlaws, cowgirls, and cowboys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. And if you're looking forward to the next video, I'll see you on down the trail. Have a good one.